What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. I am today your host, Dr. Chris Demczar. This is a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and you can be set free from anything related to your health problems. So normally you're used to hearing Dr. Ernst's voice, and I'm a co-host along with him. We decided to give Dr. Ernst a break today, and I've got some extremely exciting information to be sharing with you related to all of the important dietary food things that you need to know about as we head into 2023. I mean, 2023 is next week. Can you guys believe it already? And so I want to bring to you some of the most important and some of the latest, what I'll say, fad diets that are out there that are starting to, what we think are going to be really important, and people are going to be trying them. So if you're going to try something, you should be informed about it, right? And what we want to do is bring that information to light today, talk about what are these nutritious or non-nutritious ways that people are looking to change their health, and then have a discussion about what you can do to then say, yep, I should do this, maybe I shouldn't do it, maybe I'm going to alter it this way, whatever it ends up being. And so before I get ahead of myself, I want to go ahead and make sure if you are not signed up for the Ask Dr. Ernst 4-week health challenge, you're missing out. We're already done with week 2. This is it. We're on to week 3 and 4. But if you haven't signed up already, you guys are missing out. This is a free, and Dr. Ernst gets all the credit for this. I didn't help him out with this at all, but he gets all the credit for this ebook. Typically we come on here and we say, you know what, we've got a 30-page, 40-page ebook that we've got lots of great information, whether it's related to your cholesterol, triglycerides, energy, metabolism, whatever. This ebook, which is, we called it the Turn On Your Fat Burning Switch, but it's all related to this 4-week holiday health challenge that Dr. Ernst is doing right now. And this ebook, guys, 90 pages. 90 pages. Can you believe it? So it starts out with a few of, we have to talk about, when we talk about turning on your fat burning switch, we got to talk about the hormones that are going to do that. It's a hormone mediated task by your body. But then, and I didn't print out all of them here because I'm not going to print out 90 pages of recipes and food guides and grocery lists and restrictions and things to watch out for. It's all there. 90 pages of it. So if you haven't signed up yet for your 4-week holiday health transformation, you have to start with at least getting this guide, this 90-page free ebook guide, and then you can still join in. If you're like, well, Dr. Chris, you guys are 2 weeks through with the challenge already. I've missed out. No, never. Can you ever miss out on changing your health for the better? You can't. So call or text the word holiday right now to 704-906-2094, and our call center will be sure to get the information to you that you need. And let me rephrase that. It's text in the word holiday along with your first name, your last name, and an email so that our call center can get you this holiday guidebook. What it's also going to do is going to give you access to the masterclass that Dr. Ernst is doing on Saturday, January 14th at 10 a.m. It's going to be a live event. It's going to be the culmination of this event. So I know that there's going to be a lot more people on that masterclass than did this 4-week health challenge, but it's something that Dr. Ernst is going to talk about because it's going to relate to the healing opportunity that is inside each and every one of you. And then on top of that, it's going to be a really good opportunity for you to say, yep, I just did all this work. I just made all these amazing changes. And why not be able to say, well, what's next? What's the next step now? Dr. Ernst is going to dive into those secrets of what needs to be done next for your health on that masterclass. So again, text in the word holiday to 704-906-2094. Include your first name, your last name, and your email, and our call center will get you all that information. You have not missed out yet, and you don't want to miss any more of what the great stuff we have in store for you, that is. So without further ado, should we get into some of these new diets that are coming out and they're going to be really popular, that we feel are going to be really popular in 2023? Now, I want to preface this with the word diet, because the word diet has some, when you think of the word diet, what do you guys think it means? If you're listening to this right now and you're going, yeah, diet, I don't want to be on any diet. Diets don't work. Well, yeah, you're right. And there's a reason a lot of times a diet doesn't work. It's because when we think of as a societal driven diet, that is a diet that is meant to, what's the main goal? Weight loss. I wanted to, shed a few pounds. I wanted to thin my waist out a little bit. So the whole goal of a diet typically in modern society is to try to have this external or outside goal so that you can improve the way you look to society. But when we actually talk about a diet, we really need to talk about changing a very specific process within one or more of your body functions. Think of it like this. If you're listening right now and you're going, yeah, I'm pretty healthy. I know I could go on a diet. Maybe I could lose a few pounds. Well, I'm here to tell you there is always one system in your body that needs to be changed more than any other. And there is a diet. I only like to use the word diet. We don't use the word diet here at Cornerstone Health Center because all of the nutritional changes that our patients make are specifically addressed to a specific body function that they need to change. So if you're listening to this right now, there is one specific function that you need to change within your body so that you can continue healing to the next level. And there is some nutritional change that you can make to allow that to happen. It could be one of these diets. That's very possible. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to say that, oh, you're just going on a diet, that's not so true. You're not just going on a diet. You're going on a lifestyle change. And so let's get into it. We've got some of these words. I even had to look up how to say some of these words. They've been around a while, but they're unique. So here we go. Let's dive in. The first one that we want to be aware of is called the SIRT food diet. SIRT food. And this has been around since the 2015, 2016. But what makes it interesting is that the SIRT food diet is trying to activate. Remember, I talked about one specific system in your body. It's trying to activate specific proteins called sirtuins. And sirtuins are proteins that are released by our body in response to stress. Be like, what? I'm not stressed. Going into 2023 or not? Of course we all are. So the benefit of these sirtuins, what they do is they go in, and when the stress is high, your body's going to start to break down. When the stress is high, your body's metabolism increases, but that increases a lot of the reactive oxygen species. That's oxidative stress. That's damage to your cells. And so these sirtuins will go in on the back end, and they will help to regulate the amount of inflammation that your body's producing in response to that stress. And they will also help to stop the aging process. Have you ever gone through a time in your life, you're like, oh my gosh, I just aged 10 years in those 2. You're like, what the heck happened? Or you see, we've talked about this before, Dr. Ernst and I, where we've said, oh my gosh, you look at the presidents before they took office, and then when they've left office 4 years later, some of them look like they aged 10, 15, 20 years even, not just 4. And it's because of the stress of the job of what they're doing. And so these sirtuins will go in and they will help to stop that aging process. They do it specifically by looking to go into the DNA, so down to your genes at the DNA level. And at the end of every DNA, there's a little shoe. And that shoe wears out over time. The faster that shoe wears out, the faster you have to replace that cell, because that DNA is no longer going to be viable. The more replication that you have to have over the years, the faster you're going to age yourself. And you may have heard of this before. It's called a telomere. The telomere is the shoe at the end of every DNA. You don't want that shoe, that telomere, to wear out. You don't want to have to get a new pair of shoes. You want to keep the same pair of shoes as long as possible. And so these sirtuins will go in and they will help stop that telomere from shortening, from wearing down. And as that happens, as the telomere stays lengthened, it decreases your aging process, and it's going to help keep you younger and healthier. Now, if this is the first time listening to the show, you know that Dr. Ernst, myself, we're chiropractors. We work at Cornerstone Health Center. And if you've never been introduced to me before, I am the lead physician here at Cornerstone Health Center. I'm also Dr. Ernst's chiropractor, so I take care of him and his health needs. You may have heard, and if you haven't before, there is a chiropractic study that has been shown that when patients have been under chiropractic care, they had blood tests done before they were under care, so they never were under chiropractic care. They had blood tests before that measured the telomere length, the length of that shoe, or the heel of the shoe, for the analogy. Then they were under chiropractic care for a certain amount of time. Then they had blood tests retaken, and they did this compared to people who just weren't under chiropractic care at all. And there was a significant difference in the telomere shortening. So the people under chiropractic care, their telomeres did not shorten really at all compared to the people that were not under chiropractic care. As they were living life, their telomeres shortened as we would expect. Like, there's lots of studies that looked at telomere shortening over time, and that was all normal. And so this was the first study that proved that chiropractic care has an effect on your DNA. It doesn't have just an effect on your back. It doesn't have an effect on being able to just remove neurological interference, which is what we spend our days in and out doing here at the office, as well as coaching people on how to be truly healthy, the best version of themselves. But chiropractic care gets down to a DNA level. Chiropractic care helps you to stop the aging process. Now, does that mean you're never going to get old? No. But as you age, you're going to age more gracefully in way better health than you could have ever imagined possible. And this was a study. Let me see. I have to scroll down a little bit. So this was a study put out in 2018. It's published in a chiropractic journal. So this is published research proving that just like this CERT food diet that we're about to dive into, chiropractic care can reduce the aging process, stop the over-replication of cells. When cells divide too much, when cells start to divide uncontrollably, what does that lead to? It's that C word that you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? And so the benefits of keeping your telomeres, keeping those shoes as new and sparkly clean as possible cannot be understated. So let's get back to the diet because we got to dive into this. So what would we've talked about what the sirtuin is as a protein. And if you're looking for fat loss, the sirtuin diet can help with that. But instead of it, there's a couple reasons for that though. A, it's a calorie restricted diet. B, because your body starts to say, well, we got to get energy from somewhere, it starts to take some of the energy that it has stored. It's stored sugar in muscle. It's called glycogen. It starts to take some of that stored glycogen in your muscle and in the liver and start to utilize that for energy as well. And so what the CERT food diet claims is that you're going to maintain muscle mass while losing fat. And yeah, that may be true, but don't do this CERT food diet and say, yeah, I'm doing this as I'm training for this half marathon that's coming up at the end of the month. Don't do that. You are not going to perform well at all. So it is not a performance-based diet, but this may be a good diet for you to try. So some of the magical CERT foods, and you've heard of most of these before: green tea, dark chocolate that's 85% cocoa, apples, citrus fruits like oranges, limes, lemons, parsley, turmeric, kale, blueberries, capers, and red wine. And so this is basically a 2-phase, 3-week protocol. And a big part of the first phase is you're only eating one normal meal a day, whatever that would be. But then you're going to have 3 other small meals, which is going to be this green juice drink that you have to make. It's got the kale, arugula, parsley, celery, ginger, green apple, lemon, and matcha green tea. So a lot of the things we just talked about as CERT food, these are CERT food diet foods. And these are going to help to increase and release more of the sirtuin proteins that are going to stop the aging process, decrease and help regulate the inflammation that's going on within your body, wherever it is. If it's in your gut, it's going to help do that there. Maybe you've got issues in your kidney, or maybe there's issues in your pancreas. Getting sirtuin proteins to those areas is going to help that process. And so that's the first phase, that first with all the 3 day or the 3 juices a day and the 1 meal a day. That's for a week. And then you would spend 2 weeks. Let me keep moving on here. We'd get 2 weeks where you would be doing your normal 3 meals a day, but you would have one of those juices every day as a way to continue getting as many, or continue activating as many sirtuin proteins in your body as possible. And one of the cool things about this process is you can repeat this as much as you want. You can say, well, I just did it 3 weeks now, and then I'm going back and doing it again. Or you can say, you know what, I did the 3-week sirtuin diet. I'm going to take a month off, and then I'm going to do it again. Or you know what, I did the sirtuin diet. I'm going to try to maintain that second phase, which is 3 normal meals a day and the 1 green juice drink every day. And you may see amazing results. There's a lot of people have had amazing results just based on even the preliminary readings that I'm doing here. And so if you're interested in this, we have to know there's pros and cons to everything, and informed consent. I cannot tell you guys enough of how important it is to have the informed consent of both sides. There's 2 sides to every coin. When you're looking and you know and you understand that there's one specific thing, one process in your body that you need to improve. That's the most important thing. There might be 10 things that could improve, but there's only one that you really need to improve right now to really jumpstart and get yourself healing. This sirtuin diet could be a part of that. Maybe it's going to help decrease inflammation. Maybe it's going to help you to regulate fat metabolism. Maybe it's going to help you to regulate muscle wasting metabolism. Maybe you've got a muscle wasting issue and you're saying, well, how do I mitigate that? This could be a part of this, a small piece. And so you got to know that the sirtuin diet, yes, it may result in weight loss, but you're not doing it for weight loss. You're doing it for those sirtuin proteins. So keep that in mind. Like, what's the real root issue, the real root benefit, the real root change that you're shooting for when you go, start something like this diet? But a lot of the weight loss might be because those first 7 days, you're very calorie restricted. One meal a day. And typically it's about 1,000 calories or less. So you're only getting in about 1,000 calories a day. You've got to know that that weight loss may just be because of a calorie restriction, not because these proteins are doing anything fancy. But one of the benefits is that there's so many antioxidants, right? Let me go through this again. The blueberries, the red wine, coffee, the dark chocolate, some of the vegetables, all super high in antioxidants, which are going to drive down that oxidative stress. So if your body is in a super stressed out state for a long period of time, high levels of oxidative stress, reactive oxygen species floating around inside your body, sirtuins will help to drive that down, and the antioxidants will help to drive that down. So you're getting that from some of these foods here. And the last thing, so this would be a con, you have to be careful because especially during that first week, if you're only getting one meal a day for 7 days, but you're also trying to go about your busy day-to-day life, you may not be getting enough nutrients. And so being in this, and we don't use the word calorie here either, but when you talk about being in a calorie deficit, if you're not getting in enough of the good fats and enough of the good proteins, your body is going to start to break down in other ways where doing this cert food diet would not be for you. So you definitely want to be able to be in a low stress environment or know that you can dedicate the time to be able to do this type of a 7-day intensive fast with these 3 green juices a day and only one meal before you get started with it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It's the 16-8 fast, also known as, you've all heard of this, intermittent fasting. And we're going to start this now, and I'm going to finish it after the break. But just know that if you're just joining us, so glad to have you on this Saturday afternoon. The day before we switch over to 2023, we're reviewing all of what are going to be the fad diets of 2023. And if you haven't gotten it yet, you need to call or text us the word holiday with your first name, last name, and email, 704-906-2094. Our call center is going to get you this free ebook. It is a 90-page fat burning guide, how to boost the hormones that are going to help to drive weight loss. And then it's got all the grocery plans, all the food plans, all the different meal prep that you need, all there. 90 pages, guys. 90 pages that Dr. Ernst himself put together so that you can have all the best information and make the best choices for yourself. This is a 4-week jumpstart your health and healing for the holidays. We're already done with 2. If you want to get involved, you still can. Text us that holiday word with your first name, last name, and email, 704-906-2094. We will get you the information. You still have weeks 3 and 4 to join in. There's already hundreds of people doing this. I could pull up the list right here on my computer if I wanted to. Just hundreds of people that have at least have taken advantage of getting this information. And we're going to find out, are they actually following through? And that's where you can do that too. Okay, so a couple minutes left. Intermittent fasting. I know if you're a patient here at Cornerstone, you're listening to this radio show, you know what intermittent fasting is. And most of you listening, right, you've heard of intermittent fasting. Oh, yeah, you don't eat till 12 and you only eat, a certain part of the day and, you're doing it. You're just basically starving yourself for part of the day and then eating, the rest of whatever you want during, 12 noon to 8 p.m. at night. I mean, you can look at it like that, but it's way deeper. It's way bigger than that. It's way more important to understand what's actually going on when you want to talk about what intermittent fasting really is. And so, first of all, did you know that the human body takes 6 to 8 hours to pass food through your stomach and into your small intestine? And then it's got to wind its way through there. That's just 6 to 8 hours. But then it takes another 36 hours, so a day and a half, for the food to move through your entire colon, which is your large intestine. And so when you intermittent fast and you say, well, I'm fasting for 16 hours, I'm eating during 8, you're not even scratching the surface really of allowing food to have moved through the entirety of the digestive process. But that said, you've given it enough time where you've given it a break so that there is a massive reset that can start to happen. If you can at least give your body the time to get the food from stomach and small intestine into the colon, and then it starts working its way through the colon before you decide to put, and maybe it gets halfway through the colon, before you put more food back in, that's a huge rest time for your body. And your body needs that. A lot of times it's done at night. People will, obviously we're fasting while we're sleeping, and Again, how many hours of sleep are we getting on average a night? 6 to 8. How many hours does it take for you to pass food through the stomach and small intestine? 6 to 8 hours. Do you think there's a coincidence that God made it that way? Absolutely not. That was designed. That's purposeful. And so that rest that you're going to get is really going to help. If you're someone listening, you're like, yeah, but I've got massive inflammatory bowel disease, or I've been told I have IBS, and I don't know what to do, but I need to keep taking the Tums. It's the only thing that's going to actually help me. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's have this conversation about what the Tums are actually doing and what you need to be doing instead. How you can really drive your health in a different direction. Hey, listen, we're about to go on a break in a minute. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. This is Dr. Chris Demczar, today hosting on this last day of the year. Super excited to bring you guys all of the latest and greatest fads in dieting that's going to hit us in 2023. You're going to want to stick around for all these benefits and the things that you're going to learn, including the big one, the ketogenic diet. We'll be going over that and more right after the break. Stay with us. See you soon.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Hi, my name is Gary Greenfield with Greenfield Water Solutions, and I want to introduce you to our newest product, the MR500. It's a whole house structured water filter system. It's set up in an all stainless steel multi-round filter housing. It features inlet and outlet for the water, a bleeder valve for when you're changing out the filters to reduce pressure, and to remove the top for access to the filters. You simply open up the clamp, remove the top, and this plate here holds all the filters in place. Simple to remove. It comes out, and you can see what we have on the inside here. It's 5 Aquamedics filters and a vortexing tube and a harmonizer. That's the whole system. This is designed to filter 5 gallons per minute, and all of the contaminants that it does remove are listed on the website, which is a very broad array of contaminants. These are the highest rated filters that I know of on the market that are filter cartridges. They can be changed out yearly. And of course, the process is very simple. You won't have to hire a plumber to do a change out. And the filters are available from Greenfield Water Solutions. And if you want to know more about this, you can read about it on the product page or give us a call. Thanks for watching. That's it for now from Greenfield Water Solutions.
Would you like to experience a better night's sleep? Want to feel well rested and ready for your day? Discover an amazing solution with Celient Sleep Recovery. Our Celient Sleep Recovery products are made from a patented yarn embedded with a blend of 13 infrared active minerals. Celient technology never washes out. The benefits will last for their entire lifespan. Minerals reflect the body's own energy by using Celient infrared active technology, boosting your oxygen levels and improving circulation to reach REM sleep gracefully. Our customers love to comfortably sleep throughout the night because of Celient. We've conducted 9 independent clinical studies by well-respected scientific institutions and universities that prove the many positive effects Celient has on the body. Our technology is designed to help you achieve a refreshing sleep recovery. Experience the foundation your body deserves. Start waking up refreshed and always ready for the day ahead. It's time to achieve the best sleep of your life to unlock your hidden potential. Start experiencing a better night's sleep with our Celient Sleep Recovery products today. Celient. Recycle your body's energy.
To bring you the best natural wine the world has to offer, we've designed a fully curated membership program. Every selection you receive is different and unique. Every wine is picked by our wine team, lab tested for purity, and curated into a special box for your enjoyment. So how does the membership work? We offer 2 main options: a half case of 6 bottles or a full case of 12. You can request all reds, all whites, or a perfect split of both. Then you can set the frequency, monthly or every other month. We offer a similar simple membership for rosé and sparkling wines. After you choose these basic options, we'll do the rest. With every box we send you, we aim to present the greatest diversity of flavors, textures, and profiles. There's a healthy mix of the classics, but also rare varietals. We do this because natural wines taste different from their commercial counterparts. We want to share the best possible experience with you, so you can discover new wines you love. And you can always reorder a wine that took your heart, or ask us to avoid certain profiles. The best part is, you don't need any wine knowledge to fully enjoy these boxes. We curate our selections to be enjoyed without worry. Ultimately, this is Dry Farm Wines. We are so grateful to be able to share the power of natural wines with you.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. It's a very happy Saturday afternoon, the last day of the year 2022. So excited that I get to spend this time with you guys. And if this is your first time listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show, and you're going, well, who is this guy? My name is Dr. Chris Demczar. I am the lead physician here at Cornerstone Health Centers. This is the office of Dr. Ernst. And I'm also the co-host here on the Ask Dr. Ernst show here on WBT. We're also streaming live. We're on Twitter, guys. We're on Rumble. We are on Facebook, and we'll be back on Facebook shortly. You can find us on WBT website. You can also find us on the Ask Dr. Ernst website as well at askdrernst.com. And listen, we're talking a lot today about what are going to be the bad diets of 2023. What are some of the challenges with some of these diets? What are the benefits? Why you should be interested in some of these. At the top of the hour, we talked about the sirtuin diet and how that can reverse the aging process because of it's going to help decrease those telomeres. It's going to help to stop the decrease of the telomeres. It's like having a shoe. There's a shoe on the end of your DNA, and the shoe's going to wear out over time, it stops that wearing down process. And so there's lots of foods. There's a very specific protocol that you can follow that can help to boost that process and boost the other benefits of having the increased protein sirtuline in your body. You want it circulating in your body. And we moved on to intermittent fasting. And for a lot of you, you may have tried intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting isn't new. It's been around for a while. And there's a lot of really good benefits to intermittent fasting. But if you're going, I just don't think it's for me, there's no benefit to it, or I can't make it without breakfast. Well, hey, I'll use anecdotal evidence. I'm one of those guys that says, yeah, there's no way I'm skipping breakfast. And most days I don't. If I'm coming into work, a lot of days I've had breakfast. And the way my metabolism works, how I regulate my stress hormone cortisol, how I regulate sugar, I need breakfast. Breakfast serves me really well. But you know what? There's a back end on my digestive side that needs the break. And if I'm not coming into work early or on the weekends, I'm skipping breakfast and I'm intermittent fasting. So that way I'm giving my body the chance to have the best opportunity to receive these benefits. And so you got to listen to these. If you've intermittent fasted and been like, it didn't work, or if you haven't tried intermittent fasting and you're interested, listen to the benefits that intermittent fasting may help you to achieve. So it's going to help to slow down and eventually eliminate any inflammation in your gut. So many times people say, I'm having gut issues, and my medical doctor just said, yeah, you've got like a gut dysbiosis, or you've got leaky gut. You can take this medication, it'll help with it. Well, how about you just fast? First of all, it's free. Second of all, it's actually going to make a benefit and a positive change to your body, to your digestive tract. It's going to help shut down the inflammatory process. And it's going to be specific to your gut. If you listen at the top of the hour, I said there is always one body process that needs to improve more than all others. Right? You may be something with your digestive system. It may be something with your liver. It may be something with your pancreas. It may be something with your brain and your nervous system. Maybe a lot of the reasons you're having any of these issues where you're saying, I should fast, is because there's something neurological going on and you don't even realize it. You don't even know because you've never been tested for somebody to say, oh my gosh, there is a neurological cutoff. There's a breaker box that has been turned off, and there's a signal that is not going through specifically from your liver to your brain. It's no wonder that you're not detoxing well. And because you're not detoxing well, your gut is a mess, bacteria is overgrown, and you're having all these issues that you think you're going to solve by going on doing a fad diet or doing X, Y, or Z. But if you just address the root issue, which is your nervous system, that issue is going to go away. And there's going to be so many other changes too, because what controls every cell in your body? Your nervous system. So listen to this. We just said intermittent fasting can cool off inflammation. But did you know that it can help eliminate toxins from your body? Because it's giving your body the chance to put energy towards detoxifying instead of just breaking down food constantly. If you're not training for something, for performance in this world, like a sporting event or a race or something like that, constantly giving your body more and more and more food at every couple hour intervals is a really good way to teach your body to say, yeah, you're never going to get a chance to just reset yourself. Just keep working on what we got going in. But what if what's already inside your body is so toxic, so inflammatory, but then every 3 hours you're putting in more snacks, more food, another meal. You never give your body the chance to recover and to relax and to reset and to work through what's already there. A lot of the times, if you've tried a diet before and you didn't lose weight, and whether it was intermittent fasting, whether it was any other type of whatever it was, I'm not even going to name diets at this point because I could start bashing other diets that are terrible for you. But if you've tried it before and you didn't lose weight, but you're like, but that was the whole goal of doing it. That's why I said at the top of the hour, weight loss is not your goal. It should not be the goal of doing any sort of diet because it has to come down to what's the root mechanism, what's going on in your body. If it's toxic buildup, then you need to give your body a chance to say, instead of just digesting this new food that we're constantly putting into our bodies, we need a chance to just eliminate the toxic buildup that's been there for weeks, months, years. If we're talking about heavy metals, we're talking years, guys. And if you're someone that's never been tested for heavy metal toxicity, that could be a real root issue to why you cannot lose weight. It doesn't matter what diet you do and all these good antioxidants and whatever the experts are telling me I need to do this, and that. It doesn't matter. There's one root system that needs to heal. If there's a toxic overload, that's the system you need to change. How do you do that? you've got to know what the toxin is. You've got to figure out how to eliminate it. And B, you've got to be able to keep it that way. B, should have been C. C, you need to keep it that way. And if you're not figuring those three things out, and I'm going to tell you, you keep it that way by ensuring that the body's communicating effectively. That's where the nervous system comes in. I can't overstate it enough. Because your body is now adapted to say, well, we're just going to try to deal with these toxins as best we can because they're not going anywhere. So you figure out what the toxins are, you eliminate the toxins, your body's going, hooray, the toxins are gone. But can your body now live in this new pattern where it's saying, well, we should be moving on to, we can do other things now. We don't have to worry about the toxins. If you're not getting your nervous system checked, if you're not under chiropractic care, that will not happen effectively. It may happen to some degree, but not as good as it could. So that's where the nervous system comes into play. Okay, let's keep going. Benefits of intermittent fasting. Improving the diversity of your gut microbiome. So we all know we've got good bacteria and bad bacteria, but there's really no good or bad bacteria in your gut. There's just bacteria, and they are good when they're in, if all of our bacteria is supposed to stay in this range, but we got one bacteria that goes outside of the range, that just became a bad bacteria, even though it's good when it stays within the range. And so it's all about what can you keep the bacteria within a specific range. Why does the bacteria go out of range or go below too low in a range? It can go above or below. Why does that happen? Because of all the crap that we eat and that we put into our bodies that creates an inflammatory response. And that inflammatory response is driving, I apologize for that. Somebody was trying to reach out to me. I love that you guys are trying to call in, but unfortunately, I am live on the radio right now, and I cannot take your call. Which brings me to a really good point. I forgot to do this at the top or the second half, start of the second half. I talked about this ebook. If you haven't gotten it yet, text the word holiday, your name, first and last, and your email to 704-906-2094. Don't miss out on this free 90-page ebook that Dr. Ernst put together for all of your shopping grocery needs, for all of your health needs, it's got all the recipes in it and the directions for them. All you have to do is follow this guide. It couldn't be easier than this. If you're saying, how do I jumpstart my health? I'm looking to do something food-wise to change something for the betterment of my health in 2023. There's no diet that's ever going to work for you, as I hope you're understanding through this conversation that I'm having with you. But there is a plan, and it starts with this ebook. So again, text holiday, first and last name, email, 704-906-2094. Okay, you could lower triglyceride levels from fasting, intermittent fasting. You could manage weight and lose weight. So again, calorie restriction, your body now has a chance to say, well, if we can now get the liver to get rid of the toxins that are in the body, now we can start pulling other toxins that have been hanging out in the fat cells. That's going to help you lose weight. If you are intermittent fasting enough to the point that you get into ketosis, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, then you'll have the opportunity to also lose weight. And some things that you're not maybe or aren't well known, you're going to reduce any of the autoimmune symptoms. IBS, IBD, that's a precursor to an autoimmune disease. But then if you're saying, I have ulcerative colitis, or you're saying that there's any other autoimmune issue, maybe it's a skin rash, psoriasis, guarantee that we can trace it back to an immune response in your gut because your gut is out of alignment. So one thing to keep in mind if you are going to intermittent fast, you can do it at different ways. So first of all, there's no set what foods to eat, but make sure you're getting good fruits and vegetables, really healthy, quality water. The quality of water is extremely important. That's a whole other radio show. That you're getting lean protein sources and that you've got all of your super healthy fats, olive, avocado, coconut oils, and seeds as well. A big thing with intermittent fasting is you have to be drinking water all the time. A lot of times when you start to get hungry, you're actually not hungry, but your body is so dehydrated, it's craving thirst. And you'd be amazed the amount of fluid we get from food. So it's really easy to trick your body into thinking, oh, I'm hungry, but you're really just thirsty. So if you are thinking, I'm going to try intermittent fasting, just be prepared to drink something. Water, a healthy tea. It could even be water with lemon. And we're going to talk about the lemonade fast in a little bit too, because that's popping up. And you can also have coffee. Anything to avoid dehydration is going to help you have success when you're not eating as you intermittent fast. Now, the 16-8 is very popular, But let's say you really want to drive things forward and you're like, I did intermittent fasting. It didn't really do much for me. I did the 16-8. Well, try the 24, 20 and 4. 20 hours of fasting, 4-hour window when you're going to eat. You're going to eat during the most metabolically active piece of your or part of your day. What does that mean? Typically, it's later in the afternoon. So from 2 to 6 or from 4 to 8 is when most humans are going to be most metabolically active. Some of us, it's earlier in the day. I'm actually a little bit earlier in the day. So if I had to do it, I would do it typically in the from 11 to 3 p.m. would be better for me. But for the average person, 4 to 8 p.m., 2 to 6 p.m. is when you're most metabolically active. Those 4 hours is when you want to consume all of your calories, all of your nutrients in one day. Keep that in mind. Okay, now you can do a prolonged fast. What is a prolonged fast? Just not eating anything. You're still drinking water, teas, coffee, but you're not eating anything for more than one day. And so the classic one is people go, I went for the 5-day fast. And where did the 5-day fast came from? There was some research that came out about 12, 13 years ago now, that talked about, it was in mice, because we can't test this in humans, but it was in mice that after the 72-hour mark, so that's 3 days, so on the 4th day of fasting, the mice started to produce stem cells. And stem cells are cells that can turn into any other kind of cell in our body. Now, what makes this really unique and special is that as adults, we don't produce stem cells unless we're in a super highly stressed state. But we don't have the capacity or the need to really produce them anymore because we have all of the specific cells for all the specific functions within our body. Does that make sense? So we're not producing stem cells readily, even though they'd be great to have. And you probably heard, I went and got stem cell injections, or I'm doing a stem cell therapy. Yeah, that's great. But did you know that your body can just produce the stem cells all on its own? All you have to do is get to that 4th day of being on a fast, prolonged fast, fluids only. Now, there's some other, this one is unique, and I'm not going to go into this one too much, but it's the mimicked fast. And the mimicked fast it uses something called the Prolon, Prolon protocol, and it's a much better researched fast, and that way if you are choosing to do more of a prolonged fast, you can do it a little bit smarter. You can choose to consume certain juices and whatnot at different times to help you be very specific and strategic in getting nutrients in as you fast. So it's a smarter way to fast. It may take you to day 5 to get the stem cells at that point because you're not necessarily putting yourself in that starvation mode, but it's a really healthy way to get a lot of the nutrients that you need in and still be able to fast. And that's called the mimicked fast. Okay, so the lemonade fast. This is a unique one. The lemonade fast is all you're doing for 3 days is consuming a drink, and it's water, lemon juice, and maple syrup. So this combination is really especially going to influence your liver, and it's going to help with liver detoxification, but it's also going to help influence overall blood sugar regulation. So if you're listening to this, you're like, yeah, I'm diabetic, but you're telling me I can have sugar and maple syrup? Well, yeah, you can. This fast, you only do it for 3 days, and it's really going, again, if you want a way to try to balance out your blood sugar without it tanking, right? Because if you just do like the prolonged fast for 3 days and all you're having is water, what do you think is going to happen to your blood sugar? Well, if you're healthy, you should be able to regulate your blood sugar, no problem. But if you're sick, if that's one of the main drivers, the main things you need to change is blood sugar regulation, then it may not be appropriate for you to just jump to a prolonged fast or even an intermittent fast at that point. Maybe you need to do something more like the lemonade fast with meals during a very specific window of time. And that's what's really going to allow your body to start to regulate its sugars, your blood sugars, which can kick you out of that prediabetes if you're there. And then it can also help with the weight loss and the detoxifying and all those other things that we've been talking about over this radio show. Now, here at Cornerstone Health Center, we were talking about minerals a lot. And you're getting a good amount of minerals from the lemon juice. There are even some in the syrup, but not really. And if you really want to get more minerals, because a lot of times when your body starts to detox, yes, it's pulling toxins out of your body, but every piece in your body, every protein, every toxin, anything that's carried through your bloodstream, it has a partner. And a lot of those partners end up being minerals. So you start to pull toxins in for detox and elimination. You start pulling minerals too. And then, so how do you get more minerals into your body? Well, we would just say add a pinch of Himalayan salt into that drink. So make your drink, lemon juice, water, maple syrup, pinch of Himalayan salt, and that gives you the minerals that your body needs so that you can ensure that you're getting what would be just required to help you actually regulate your blood sugar effectively. And then have a way to test, if you're doing this for blood sugar regulation, have a way to test your blood sugar. I can't tell you the amount of times someone tries to do a fast, make some sort of change, but they have no way of actually monitoring or measuring it. If you can't measure the changes, and it's not weight, I said this at the top of the hour. Any diet that you do is not for weight loss. It's for one specific change in a body function. You choose what that is, and then you try to apply, or you go and apply these principles to make that change. So if it's blood sugar, you may want to do the lemonade fast. If it's weight loss, which it never can be weight loss, you have to say, well, why am I trying to lose weight? Am I holding on to too many toxins? Is my gut a wreck? And then you would go down. So if you're too many toxins, well, maybe you need to get on intermittent fasting. If your gut's a wreck and you're really worried about the amount of reactive oxygen species, well, you want that Surdy food diet. You want to get the citrulline as much as you can into your body. Now let's get to the big one, the ketogenic diet. Or the keto. Everyone's heard, oh, this food's keto friendly. I can only be keto friendly for these 30 days. I'm doing Whole30 and keto. I'm combining them. Is ketogenic diet, is being in ketosis a healthy and helpful thing? Yes, absolutely. And then we're going to talk about the downside to it in a second, because yes, you have to be careful, but we have to talk about what the ketogenic diet really is. So first of all, the diet in itself, it is consuming calories that are more than 80%. So fats, carbs, proteins, 80% or more needs to be fat. So much fat, endless amounts of butter, coconut oils, lots of fats, healthy fats, nuts, seeds. And then typically 15% would be your proteins, your lean meats, and then less than 5% would be your carbohydrates. And most of that's going to come from vegetables and maybe some fruits, so that you're getting a well-balanced meal. So you can see how high it is in fat. And that's important, because what the body, or what a ketogenic diet is designed to do, is to get your body into ketosis. And what that means is that when normally our body loves using sugar to make energy. Sugar is the fuel. You add the oxygen is literally just like if you put oxygen into a fire, it rages up. Sugar is the fuel that our body loves. But the problem is that sugar can be a problem. We know that it can lead to inflammation. We know that we're consuming way too much of it. So much of the foods that we eat that are processed, high fructose corn syrup in general, sugar alcohols, sugar additives, sugar substitutes. They are changing the way that our body is utilizing sugar. It's changing the way that our body is making energy. There is a back-end inflammatory increase, reactive oxygen species increase, oxidative stress increase because of these types of things. So instead of relying on these fake sugars, or sugar in general, once we're having way too much of it in today's society, switch to using a ketone, which is the whole goal of being in ketosis. Your body will say, well, if we don't have the carbs, we have to have another energy source. Oh, there's lots of fats available. The fats go to your liver, they're broken down, made into ketones. And so there are some really important therapeutic effects. And I know we've only got a couple minutes left, so I'm going to work through these as quick as I can. But being in ketosis can help with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis. Those are neurodegenerative diseases. And it's because these diseases thrive off the inflammation caused by utilizing sugar in the brain, in the nervous system for energy. So if you take that away and you give them ketones for energy, the ketones don't have the same inflammatory process, then it's going to stop or stunt the progression of these diseases. Makes sense. And it does in some specific ways. We can get into the alpha-synuclein proteins that you stop the accumulation of those in Parkinson's specifically. But in cardiovascular disease, cholesterol is not going to cause a heart attack or a stroke. There, I said it. And if you haven't listened to the cholesterol radio show, you need to, because we dive into why. But just know that there can be a lot of benefits to having lots of fat in your diet. Now, will you balance this out at some point? Yeah. But to be in ketosis for an extended period of time, even 6 months to a year, super powerful. Really, it's all about mitigating inflammation. Inflammation is what's going to drive the heart attack or the stroke, not the cholesterol. So shut down the inflammation, which is what being in ketosis, utilizing ketones for energy is going to do. It'll be beneficial. Same thing with cancer. It'll cancer loves sugar. Cancer doesn't use ketones for energy, so it can shut down cancer cells. Now, it's not 100% true. It depends on the staging and the type and the specific cell type as well. So with cancer, it is more specific than what I'm saying. But just know that ketosis can be so beneficial for so many of these different reasons. Hey, we've only got a couple of seconds left. But if you're still like, I don't know where to go, what to do, what to start, Dr. Demczar, you just gave us so much great information. What do I even do to utilize it? Well, text the word holiday, your first name, last name, and email to 704-906-2094. Get the Ask Dr. Ernst holiday ebook. It's your holiday shopping meals guide. It's going to give you everything that you need to know. Re-listen to this radio show again, and then make a decision about what you need to do to jumpstart your health from the foods that you eat in 2023. Be blessed, everyone. Have a great weekend, a happy new year. Can't wait to see you next weekend.